All right. We are recording. So hi, everybody. Everyone can hear, right? If you want your video on, fine. If you want to keep it off, that's fine too. My little one's asleep for a nap. So if you see my screen go off at all, it's probably because I'm dealing with something pee related, and then but I'll still be listening. That's what the beauty of this business, right? We get to do it from home with our families, our kids, and everything. So welcome to our monthly call. I'm glad some of my bigger team is here with us too. And it's our first Wednesday call. So I really like doing this at the beginning of the month for my team because I think it's a great way to kind of just see what we have planned for the month, go over our game plan on how we're going to start the month with the right energy and a plan of attack and be like roaring right out of the gate. And so in my team page, you guys have seen in the team driven page calendar posted. So we're just going to do a couple of quick announcements. And I just want to remind, especially since we have some newer coaches on, that if you have a business plan for how you're going to attack your month, kind of like what you're inviting to, you should always know what you're inviting to. So for me, we have a coach sneak peek going right now. We have a free crockpot group going in the middle of the month. I am inviting people to that. And that's open to all the coaches on the team. Anyone can add people in there and we all just do it together. But the reason I like to do that in the middle of the month is because it gives time for all those stragglers and everyone who wanted to join at the beginning of the month to finish enrolling for our actual monthly challenge group. And I don't want to be like, okay, it's the first, jump in my free clean eating group. Then they'll be like, oh, well, I'll just jump in that. I don't need to do the real group. I like to give them time because a lot of times after the first of the month, when you're posting like we started today, people are still following up and they're still interested. So give yourself time, give those customers and potential future teammates the chance to say yes to you. Make sure you've done your due diligence in following up with them. And then a couple weeks out, we have our free clean eating group. So that makes it so the first week of the month, I'm really focused on engaging with my new challenge group, making sure everyone's in. I don't have to worry about doing two different things at once because all my energy is going into supporting those challengers. Remember that whether someone's going to be your future coach or your future challenger, we want to provide them with like the best customer service. That's what makes everybody go back to the places they love, right? I personally spend money at places that are more expensive than other places because of the service I get there. And that's the thing that I want my challengers to feel. They value what they get out of my groups and I'm fully engaged. So the first week of the month, I'm focusing on just rocking that group to a great start. And then after that, I was trying to pull up my team calendar, but it's buried. After that, I go right into inviting to the clean eating group the next week. And the reason that's great in the middle of the month is because it gives people an experience of what it's like to be in a group, what kind of being coached is like, what clean eating feels like, maybe what Shakeology is like. It gives them a chance to try it. And then they have a couple weeks left in the month after that where you follow up and get them signed up for your next month's group. So that's kind of the pattern I always follow every month. And it's worked for me for like 5 years. It just makes it so that I'm always know this week I'm inviting to what's happening next week. The next week I'm inviting to the following week. And if you always know what you're inviting to, then you never are like, what am I talking to this person about when they say they're ready to join? So real quick, I'll just hold it up here all old school style since I can't pop it up in the computer. But there's our team calendar. This is going to be real classy. And you can see like the arrows. If you look in our team page, you'll see this, but the arrows show this is what you're inviting to this week. This is what you're inviting to this week. And then there's suggested topics on there too, so that you can go in and say, you know what, I don't really know what to post. And I have ideas on here like share a clean eating pic or a food relating post. Then you can use that to spark interest in eating. That's during the week that you're inviting to your crockpot group, right? So little ideas like that. So make sure you check out the team calendar and post any questions you have below. So now that's enough for announcements. Let's get right to it. I'm really excited. We have an awesome guest speaker tonight, Brittany. It's weird because I know I'm supposed to look straight ahead, but I keep looking at your picture on the screen. She's married to Charles. She's a dog mom to Frankie, and she's a new California transplant. So no, other way, San Jose? Yeah, sorry, no? Uh-oh, I better unmute you.
I'm a Texas girl now.
Texas girl now. Okay.
I was in California. You're
okay.
right about
I'm like,
that.
wait, I said the same thing.
I'm a new Texan.
So instead of the hair getting blonder, it's going to get bigger. They say the higher the hair, the closer to heaven. That's the Texas way. So sorry for screwing that up, but she is, we're really lucky to have her here tonight. She's a SC All-Star legend. So you have two on this call that I can see right there between the two of us, which is amazing. She is a 2-star in her first CBC, which means she probably also has a second CBC open. We're in a mastermind group where we share ideas together. And so she's gracious enough to agree to be on the call with us. And I'm really excited to hear what she has to say. She's a former teacher who left the classroom to coach full time. So if you're somebody like me who, although I love my job, I don't want to be tied to it forever, this is very inspiring to see that you can find a new path for your passion for helping people. And tonight happens to also be her 6-year anniversary of being a coach. So happy anniversary. I'm going to turn it over to you. So yay, welcome. I'm going to mute myself.
Thank you so much, Amanda. I appreciate it. Guys, it's so cool in this network to be able to meet people through mastermind groups, through events like Super Saturday, Super Weekend, Coach Summit, and to just grow in business and in life together to help each other level up, right? And I think that's what at this season of my business, I just love so much. And she's right. 6 years later, I can't believe I've been a coach for 6 years. Sometimes I'm like, wow, Brittany, you've been a coach for 6 years. Like, you should pull it together. And then sometimes I'm like, I can't believe it's only been 6 years. Like, it feels like it's just flown by. But I want to start off, since you guys don't know me very well, just to paint a little picture of who I was when I started and kind of where I am now, before we kick off with just maybe a little bit more meat and potatoes. But I started this business 6 years ago on October 2nd. I got home that day. I was a full-time elementary school teacher. I was burned out. I was tired. I also worked multiple jobs on top of that because I didn't make enough as a teacher to even pay for my apartment. And so I had to work extra jobs, right? And I needed money. I was the person that when they say you don't have money, it's like, no, I know what it's like not to have money. I got you on that. But I definitely was that person. And I was very lost at that time in my life. You know, like I would sit down in my classroom at the end of the day and I'd look around and I think, is this it? Like, is this what my life is supposed to be? I mean, I went to school to be a teacher. This is what I thought I was supposed to do my whole life. And here I am now. And I love my students and I love my creative freedom and outlet with them. But I just felt tied down to a job that was draining me. Right. And it didn't feel like I had a way out. But I had a friend who did this program you might know called Insanity. And she got like raw, hard, sick abs. And I'd never seen like any of my friends get like an actual like set of abs before like that. And I was like, whoa, like I need what you have. And so I did what any normal person would do. And I went on Amazon and I bought Insanity myself on Amazon, which like now you guys, it's like, we would like kick that person who did that, right? Because you're like, you don't realize that there's coaches. Like, come on, why would you buy that on Amazon? But I did. I was that person. And I bought it on Amazon and I put it on a shelf. And it collected dust there because I was missing a lot of the links that we have as coaches, right? The accountability factor, the nutrition factor, all that, right? And so Insanity sat on a shelf. And then around that time, I'm rewinding a little bit here from October 2nd when I signed up as a coach. But that summer I decided to do Insanity. I was like, you know what? I'm on summer break. This is a great time. I'm going to start off to do when you buy a new car, right? You look around and you see that same car everywhere, right? Or, if you're into a certain style of fashion or whatever, you start to notice things that are your own. And so I started to notice other people who were doing Insanity. And a girl that I worked with in college, she had just finished doing Insanity after having her first baby. And she lost all the baby weight and she looked incredible. And so I low-key stalked her on Facebook. Instagram I don't even know if Instagram was open yet. Like I didn't have an Instagram account, most definitely. But I watched her on Facebook. And one day, October 2nd, that one day, I got home from work and I was tired and I was stressed and I was just lost. And I scrolled social media to escape from life. And while I was scrolling, she actually had a video up there. This was before Facebook Live even existed, you guys. Like, so this is pre that stuff. It's pretty cool to see in the last 6 years what has developed in our technology. But she put a video up of herself on her Facebook page, and that video was talking about the coaching opportunity. And I messaged her and said, where do I sign? Like, what, like, tell me where I swipe my credit card. And sure as junk, I swiped my credit card that night for a T25 challenge pack with Shakeology. I never had Shakeology before. That was my first time. I'd never joined a challenge group. I didn't know what coaching was. I thought it might have even been a pyramid scheme. Like, I didn't know. I just knew that I needed more, you guys. And that's the power of what we do as coaches, is that there's people out there dying in their lifestyle, dying because they're unhappy with an aspect, whether it be their health. Maybe they're dying because they don't have the right community. Maybe they're dying because they don't love their job and they feel like I felt like they were made for more and to have purpose and impact. And so there is such a beautiful solution as a Beachbody coach to offer to these people who are in our circle. So that was who I was. 6 years later, I am no longer in the classroom. I moved, at that time, I didn't even tell you this, but at that time I was living in Miami, Florida. I moved to California to marry my handsome Prince Charles, not the real Prince Charles, but my Prince Charles. And we're here. We've got a wiener dog, Frankie. We just relocated to Dallas, Texas. And the coolest part about relocating to Dallas, Texas is I didn't have to look for a job, you guys. I didn't have to look for a job. Because this business, when you treat it like a business, when you go at it as if this is not a plan B, but it is your answer, it will answer you like an answer, right? But if you treat it like, you know, there were a lot of times when I was a teacher and when I was working other jobs that I would treat this like it was like a backup plan, but it wasn't like, you know, like if this didn't work out, if this Beachbody thing doesn't work out, well, I'm still getting my teacher salary, right? But when you're no longer a teacher and you don't have another option, you got to just like go for it, right? And so I think that's been a blessing for me when I did relocate and transfer. So that's kind of who I was, who I am now, and just a little bit about me. But you guys, I asked Amanda earlier today what your team name was, because I find it interesting to hear what different people's team names are. And I wanted to really be able to speak into you guys today where you're at in your businesses, and to speak relevantly to you, right? I don't want this to be something that you're like, okay, this is just somebody preaching at me and it doesn't make any sense. I want it to really hit home with your team, your individual goals, your team's goals, right? And how you can make all of that just happen with 90 days left of the year, with the last 3 months. So your team name is Team Driven. And so I Googled the definition of driven because I was interested. What is the actual definition of driven? What does that mean? And it says that driven means that you are relentlessly compelled by the need to accomplish a goal. You're very hardworking and ambitious. So I took it a step further because I thought to myself, what does very hardworking mean? What does that mean? You're on a team that is saying you're very hardworking. So what does it mean to be hardworking? Well, it says hard work is a great deal of effort or endurance. We're going to talk about that tonight. But it's a great deal of effort or endurance. And what does it mean to be ambitious? Having a strong desire to succeed. Now, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you that I am not your normal person who's going to come in and tell you success looks like hitting Success Club every single month. Success looks like diamond. Success looks like this. I'm not going to label success for you. The coolest part about what we do is that is your own to label. Success on your map is for you, I want you to own that. Because that's what your team's motto is. That's what you're working towards. It's not success one-sided or Amanda's success. It's all of your success collectively. And when all of you guys rise up together and achieve each individual goal, the team is so much greater for it. You guys are elevated as a tribe. So are we all familiar with the You're so sick of me. I know. You're like, people are like rolling their eyes. She's going to show me a tracker. She's going to show me a stupid tracker. Yeah. You know why I'm going to show you the tracker? It works. Coach. Like we coach other people on their fitness. First, we learn how to coach ourselves. The foundation of a Beachbody coach is learning how to coach yourself. And then once we get comfortable of like, I know how to do this, I can help other people coach themselves, right? And so one of the first things we do is we coach people in their own health and fitness goals. So and I want to talk tonight specifically with this tracker, because it seems, as you guys kind of chuckled, that we are all familiar with this Success Club system, business activity tracker, or some form, shape and form of tracking our daily behaviors to notice trends in our business, right? The purpose of tracking is to be able to see where there are cracks in our business, cracks in our habits, cracks in whatever it is you're working on, right? So you can track it to see where you can improve. It's not a shaming tool. I'll put it that way, right? But I want to talk tonight about consistency and intensity with this tracking. It's the top of the month. The coolest and saddest part about coaches is the top of the month, we all start at 0. Who got in their back office on yesterday on the 1st and saw a big fat SC0 and you're like, oh God, I gotta like do it again. I gotta like, yeah, like we get the big donut, the big 0, the goose egg right there on the 1st of the month. But you know what's really cool is that it's a clean slate for everyone. So when you saw your leaderboard from September, or if you are looking at what other coaches achieved in the past months, it's a level playing field now on the 1st, right? You got a fresh month in front of you. And so you can achieve exactly what they achieved. There's no reason why not, right? The only difference is what I'm going to talk about with consistency and the intensity with which you do it. So when we coach others, we're coaches and we coach others in health and fitness, right? And so when we're coaching somebody and they're like, man, Brittany, like, I'm just not getting results. I'm not losing the weight I thought I'd lose. Like, one of our first questions for them is, are you following the program? Right? Like, we'd ask them, like, what day are you on? Are you skipping days? Are you doing it as the calendar is suggesting? Are you skipping out on, total body badass because, it hits muscle groups that make you want to cry sometimes? Like, I don't know. So we asked them that. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm doing the program. But all those containers that you got me, like, I'm not using those and I'm not focusing on my nutrition. I haven't really made any shakes yet. You'd be like, well, that's the problem, right? So why, as coaches, if we preach to people in health and fitness that they have to follow the program in order to get the results, why is it that we don't preach the same thing to ourselves about our businesses? You have to follow the program to get the results. The program being your business activity tracker, right? And I know it's probably really easy. And I've been telling a lot of my newer coaches, who on here is newish. I love it. I love it. And I love that you're already hungry to learn. Like, that's the coolest part. Right? Don't lose that hunger. Don't lose that energy. When I talk to my newer coaches, I talk about this more as a habit tracker as opposed to a business tracker, because business tracker can sound daunting sometimes. And so we talk about it as habits. And so I get curious with them. I want you to just fill out this tracker for a week and see what habits you already have. And a lot of my new coaches, they shock themselves because they see, wow, I'm already doing my workout and my shakes. I've already got number 1 checked off here, being proof the products work. And, I typically do social media posts every once in a while during the week talking about my workout or what I'm learning in my personal development or on my team or whatever. I love posting my stories, so I've been doing that. I contribute in my challenge group, and I'm always recognizing other people on our team page. And even if it's not my own coach, I'm shouting them out and like celebrating their success. And, I'm engaging in podcasts or personal growth and development, reading a book. So they shock themselves, right? And you might too, if you were to track your habits for a week. Wow, I'm actually doing way more than I thought I was. So when I have these coaches, and maybe if you're not a newer coach, maybe you're trying to build other leaders underneath you on your team and empower them to step into their own role as a coach, I encourage you to do that. Have them track their coach habits. We do this in my book club. I do a book club every month, and one of my requirements is that they do this, but it's not a shaming tool. I want you to do what you're wrong at. And after for a week, and you see the cracks in your habits, you see, okay, you know what? I don't ever read personal development. I'm going to try that this week. You know what? I'm going to try that this week. I'm going to find a podcast and I'm going to listen to it every day. And I'm going to get filled up with something that's going to make me feel good and have good energy going out into my day. And I'm going to add that on. And so each week it's like stacking another good habit on top of another good habit until all of a sudden this tracker just becomes second nature to you on a day-to-day basis. So that's the first thing. It's like, are you really doing the tracker when you say, I want to help people? I want to help 3 people this month. I really want to do it. Okay. Are you really doing the tracker, or are you doing a version of it that you're calling your own and hoping it's good enough? I'm going to tell you guys, for many years in my business, way too many years in my business, probably kicking me, like kicking herself and kicking me silently for years, because I really was hard-headed that I could do it a better way. And the truth is, once I really realized, no, this is what successful people are doing in this business, and I honed in on those behaviors, that's when I saw massive change in my business. Okay, so maybe you're doing the tracker and you're hitting Success Club and you're adding to your challenge group and you're like, I'm doing this. But let's talk about this with recruiting. Are you doing these same behaviors, how you invite to your challenge groups, to your free groups and all this stuff? Are you doing the same thing when you want to talk about your team? Now, the word recruiting can be scary to some people. They're like, oh gosh, I just joined. How could I ever recruit someone? I don't know how to mentor. I'm not a leader. I want to ease your mind, first of all, and cut the BS, because number one, recruiting is a freaking honor. Think about it. When a football player in high school is recruited by a college, isn't that an honor for that high school football player? Right? Like, if I'm getting recruited from UCLA to come play for them, I don't know if they're any good, honestly. I just threw something out that I knew. I don't know anything about football, you guys. Oh my gosh. Why am I using a football analogy? I don't know, but we'll go with it. But UCLA, if a little college kid's like, oh my gosh, UCLA wants me, isn't that like an honor? This is the same. When I talk to people, I talk to them as if they are the most important person in the room, and as if they would make our team a better place. I don't want to be the one on my team that knows everything. So I'm not worried if I don't know everything for that person. I want people on our team that I would love to have coffee with, to go get a glass of wine with, to go to Summit with, and house in a hotel room with, and just have fun with. Those are the kinds of people I want to have linked arm in arm with me. And so when I take away the scariness about I got to sign a coach and work the business, really, guys, you're bringing life and energy to your team. The team is the ultimate accountability. The team is the ultimate place where someone is going to have life change, because all of you guys have people counting on you. And so you don't quit. You have more skin in the game, right? I can't not show up for my challenge group. I've got too many people counting on me. I can't not show up on social media. I've got too many people counting on me. And that's because I'm a coach. If I had just signed up as a challenger, I never would have had to step into that leadership. But I'll tell you, leadership is wherever you are. Because if you're a part of the team, you're equipped to lead the team with something. Whether that's just simply cheering on your fellow teammates as you're trying to find out your groove, or maybe empowering other teammates to hop on and do a power hour with you and do this tracker or whatever. You have the power to go on your team page and make it better with your presence. And that's leadership. That's leadership. So right now I see some of you guys jotting down notes and whatnot. I love that. That's like the teacher in me. I love when people take notes. But what part of the tracker, while you're writing, write down right now, what part of the tracker are you not doing? And I know some of us, the tracker is a newer thing, so I'll just give you some ideas. There's the workout and Shakeology. That's part of your tracker. initiating connections, adding followers to your network, posting on social media, inviting people, contributing to your challenge group or your team page, recognizing others for their achievements, personal development. Those are some ideas of what's happening on your tracker. So write down, what are you not doing? I'll tell you what I wrote down, because I did this. I will never ask anyone to do something that I'm not willing to do. Mine is, oh, and Chrissy, I love it. Look at you. You've got leadership all over you right now because you just got in the chat and said it. I love it. Look at you, girlfriend. I am going to tell you guys that mine is fresh invites. I love following up with people till I'm blue in the face, until they want to like unfriend me because they're so sick of hearing from me. I love it. I'll follow up with them, and one of us will die first. Either they'll die or I'll die, but I'm just going to keep following up till one of us dies, right? I love that. But fresh invites have been very daunting to me lately, to find new people to say, hey, do you want to join this group I got going on? Like, we're starting on Monday. I think you'd love it. Can I send you more info, right? For some reason, those have been the part of my tracker that I've put by the wayside. Hold on. I did not mean to answer that call. I'll have to call you back. But fresh invites have been, okay, I love it. Amanda says coach invites. Yeah. But when we think about it like this, you guys, I'm going to give you a really quick tip, and this is not on what I wanted to talk about, but I'll give you a quick tip for how to invite to coaching. When you get to the share a cart option, when you get to the place where they're ready, they're like, I'm in. Now, this is not the top of the conversation. We've already had a lot of discussion of like what the right pack is, what your goals are, everything, right? But when we get to the part of the conversation where we're trying to decide what flavor of Shakeology they want, do they want energize and recover, right? When we're setting those things up, this is what I do. And I have one more question. That's what I always say. I have one more question. There's two ways to get you started. The first way is if you just want to sign up for a month and that's it. And that's all I say, just one liner. First way is if you want to sign up for a month and that's it. And then I say, the second way is what I highly recommend, because it's going to be the thing that will keep you most accountable and get you the best results. You'll be encouraged to work on your mindset muscles as well as you're working on your self-care. And this would be to join our team and become a coach. Now, don't let the word coach scare you. You can coach others, or you can learn how to coach yourself first. Which option sounds better? Right? And so I give them my last question every time. And I will give Amanda that like little script snippet. I'll give that to her so she can pour that out to you guys. But don't complicate coaching, you guys, because you said yes to coaching. You said yes to coaching. It's like we have to apologize for it. Heck no, we don't. We love what we do. We love the how this has changed our lives. And if this has changed your life in any way, shape, or form, it doesn't have to just be with fitness. It could be with community. It could be with finances, right? If it's changed your life, then stop overcomplicating it. Let people know how it's changed your life, right? Okay. So consistency. Consistency is doing the right things. I'm going to tell you, if you ever need to know what are the right things, Brittany, what are the right things, Amanda, that I should be doing to, hit some baseline benchmarks in this business, right here. These are the things, right? This tracker. If you're not on the Beachbody Champions page, you definitely want to be on there, and they have access to a lot of coach training in the units tab, but this is also there as well in that units tab for you to get your hands on. And they do have it in the back office that you could find it as well. But the Beachbody Champions page on Facebook is an awesome place to find that as well. If you want results, you guys, if you want, she said Success Club Legend, right, sister? Yeah. And a Success Club Legend, you guys, means you've hit Success Club 5 at a minimum for at least 2 years without missing a month. Do you know how freaking hard it is to even go 2 months? Do you like it is a challenge. I have coaches who will hit it for 3 months and they're like, I'm going to be a Success Club All-Star. I'm going to hit it for 12 months. And then they get in that 4th month and I'm like, okay, where is it? Come on now, let's go. It is because they see, you guys might see Amanda do something and she pours this belief into you that like, oh my gosh, if she can do it, I can do it. And I love that. And the same thing, if Brittany can do it, I can do it. And that's so true. But you also have to understand that if you want Amanda-like results in this business, if you want Brittany-like results in this business, if you want, Melanie Mitro-like results in this business, or whoever you aspire to be like, you have to follow the program, meaning the business activity tracker, for as many years with as much consistency as she has. Right? If you want results like Amanda, you want results like me, if you want results like a coach that you admire, you have to put in the work that they've put in, right? So success, your success this month, success next month, December, all the way into the new year, it demands consistency. Okay, so consistency, consistency, consistency. It's not what you do every once in a while that matters, it's what you do consistently that matters. Okay, and the next part that I want to talk about, which I think is really important, is the intensity that you bring to your consistency. So consistency is doing the right things, right? But our intensity is what is bringing the right energy to those things. So let's go back to the same example in the beginning, talking about, somebody who is in your challenge group and they're like, I'm not getting the results. Like, I thought I'd be further along by now. I thought I'd have abs already. I don't understand. But imagine that this person, let's use 100, MM100, for example. Let's say for Morning Meltdown 100, for 100 days straight, they did the program. They did it. They followed it and they were consistent. But every time they pressed play, they didn't drink their Energize and they followed the modifier every time, even knowing that they could probably do maybe 1 push-up on their toes, but they, you know what, I'm just going to follow the modifier because that's what I do. I'm just the modifier. And they settle for less than their best for 100 days. If they did that and they never stretched or add to my following, I fill out my tracker every week and I check because I love checking things off. But are you bringing the right energy to it? And are you stretching and challenging yourself? Because it's one thing to check off your tracker. I am a checklist queen. Like I will write down something I just did so I can check it off because I freaking love it. Like, yes, some of you guys get me. I love it. I'll write down what I just did so that I could check it off so I can feel like I'm productive in life, right? But there's a difference between checking off every day, just did, doing it through the roof. If every day you're like, well, I do invite, but I invite 3 people every day. What if this month you went and doubled it and made it 6 every day? Right? What if you stretched yourself just a little bit past your comfort zone? Because we know in fitness, when I stretch my muscles, it breaks them down. It's uncomfortable in the moment and it breaks them down. But when I do that, they rebuild stronger. And your business is the same. Because what was once uncomfortable to you will become your normal. Who here can say that this business, in some way, this business, these products, Beachbody has changed your life in some way, shape, or form? Who can say that? Yeah. And so why would you ever be 1 foot in, 1 foot out? I'll do some of these things, but I won't do all of it. Right? You don't have to apologize. You don't have to apologize for just being so freaking in love with the fact that this business has changed your life and will continue to change your life. The other thing too is, like when I sit here, and I'm going to wrap up with this, is I'm sitting here at the end of 6 years in the business, or the beginning of another chapter of 6 years, but 6 years in the business. And when I look at consistency and intensity, doing the right things, having the right energy around it, there's also a little bit of magic that's sprinkled on top that is totally out of our control. And that's just called time. And I think the biggest, the saddest thing I witness over and over and over again as a coach who's been in the business for 6 years is I watch people not give themselves enough time to fail, to mess up, to get up and try again. You guys, my first full year, I'm a tortoise. If you haven't noticed yet, I'm a tortoise. I will outlast anyone. My goals don't have a timestamp on them, right? And I love Rachel Hollis talks about that when you set goals, because I've always had a problem with this, like when we set SMART goals and we have to like write our goals down and it's like, I need to hit this goal by October 31st. And it's like, yeah, but what happens if by October 31st you don't hit the goal, you guys? Do you give up? No, because if you're working towards that goal by October 31st, you should at least be maybe a little bit closer than you were on October 1st, right? And so like my cry to you guys tonight, especially because I'm like coming off this high of like my coach anniversary, is like, give it time. What's the alternative? Any coach that's left my team, and I say this with so much love and respect, but any coach that's left my team because they didn't give it time, because they allowed failure to be the determiner of their, do all end all. And so they just said, oh, this business isn't for me, or I have to take a step back. And the coaches that have done that, there has not been a single coach on my team that has left the business and gone on to go do something great in our world. I would love for that to happen. I would love for a coach to leave me because she's outgrown Beachbody and she's ready to make a bigger impact in a different arena. But the sad truth is, when I watch coaches feel overwhelmed or frustrated, or they lose their focus, when I see that happen and they fizzle out, I call it Homer Simpsoning. Like, that meme or that GIF of, sorry, you're fine. You know that GIF of Homer Simpson where he's like going back into the bush and he's like disappearing? I heard it the other day from another coach, Homer Simpsoning the business. It's awesome. Like when I watch a coach do that, just retreat back, man, it breaks my heart, because all you're going to do is go back to the version of yourself that you didn't want to be when you started this, right? So keep going, you guys. There's no timeline on your goals. As long as you just keep putting one foot in front of the other consistently, doing the right things, bring your energy to that, stretch yourself, challenge yourself, put skin in the game, right? And give it time. I promise you, whatever goal you have in this business, like I want you to come back to me when it does happen and be like, Brittany, it took me this many years, but I did it. And I'll freaking cheer for you, because that's what I'm here for. I am such a cheerleader of success. There is enough success in this business for all of us. And that's the beautiful part about what we do. It's not you please have that success, I can't, or because they hit Success Club, I won't be able to. No, there's no limit on that. There's no limit on that. So that's what I've got for you guys tonight. I hope that just amped you up a little bit. I can take questions if you want, Amanda, or if you've got other things planned for the ending.
I don't have other things planned. You are the plan. So I just love that. I just thought you did an amazing job. I definitely want to open it up for questions if anyone has any. I also want to take an obnoxious team picture like I always make them do. So get yourselves happy, pretty, beautiful, and looking at the camera. I love that my friend Christine is hiding this camera in her plant. That's cracking me up. So I just wanted to really quick though, go over like my favorite couple things, at least that resonated with me, and everyone will have their own and everything. That's what I love about this, is because you get to hear different perspectives from different people that might resonate with you in a way that maybe the same thing from someone else didn't, and so on. And I really loved your analogy of thinking of a fitness challenger, because we had a team retreat, a diamond retreat 2-3 years ago, and Autumn, maybe 4 years ago, I don't know, I'm old AF, and Autumn was there. She like we got to pick her brain. We spent a whole day with her. She sat in a fireside room and did a chat with us. She worked us out twice. It was horrendous. But she was like, we got to pick her brain about menu plan. And like, I had questions while I work 12-hour shifts, or I do this, and people had questions. And everything she said was always went back to, are you following the program? Are you following the program? Are you following the program? And so that always is in my head when it comes to challengers, because I always say that, like, well, I'm glad you're getting your workouts done, but what are you eating? Oh, well, I'm doing keto, or, oh, I'm doing, I like to track my macros, or I this. And I'm like, okay, but that's great. You can do whatever you want, and I can help you. I have experience with lots of different nutrition plans, from competing, from doing this, from being UPF certified, different things. But if you want the results that we show you, that's before and after, that's from people from test groups who followed the program. And so I really like that you made that analogy into coaching. I thought that was really powerful. So I wrote, are you really doing it, or are you doing a version of it? And a lot of times our challengers will, I've had tons of clients or challengers over the years that are like, oh, I'm doing that, but I took out the yellows because I'm low carb. Or, oh, I'm doing that because and I'm like, well, that's your own program. You're not doing this program. You're doing your own make-believe program. You just happen to be using our little containers. But really, you just made it up as you're going along. So that's okay. But I like this because, like I said in the intro graphic, success leaves clues. And same as you, like, there's no, people are like, what's that secret thing that makes you have momentum? What's that shift that happened? It's doing the things, or doing the crap, as you say. I almost put that on the thing, do your crap. So those were my like big, powerful things. And I also, big, huge thing that I have like 3 pages of notes, but big, huge thing for me, in that big rectangle box in the middle, it says, if it's changed your life, then stop overcomplicating it. And I just really, really love the simplified view of that, because every single person on here I know for a fact that this has changed each one of your lives in some ways, or you wouldn't be sitting here. But I know all your stories. Some of you, it's the nutrition. Some of you, it's the community. Some of you, it's the support. Some of you, it's the workouts. But all of us, if it's changed your life, then stop overcomplicating it. And I'm just raising my hand on like guilty as charged on that and working on it. So I just thought that was really powerful. Anyone want to chime in, say anything, ask any questions? Unmute yourself and pop in. Or you can put it in the comments. Chrissy says, I love how you compared us following the tracker, that we should be tracking our fitness. Exactly. That's what I was kind of getting at too. I love that. Thank you for letting me join this call. It was great. I've been doing my own version of the tracker. I'm going to follow the program. You know what's really funny is one of my coaches said to me about a month ago, well, I haven't done it because I couldn't print the tracker. My printer wasn't working. And I'm like, but you can see it and you have a pen and paper, write it down. I mean, because you can't print it, you can't follow it. I'm not saying that doesn't make it more difficult, but if we want a solution, we'll find a solution, right? And in the beginning, there was no business activity tracker, and there was no coach training. So if your coach isn't giving you a training, or if there was only, like I trained myself off YouTube. So most of you have your spouse on your strong leg, and mine is on your weak leg, so that you can build that weaker leg. Mine is on my strong leg because I watched a video from Lindsay Matway that told me to. So that's how it happened. I had been a coach for 24 hours and I was like, whoop, signing my husband up. Where's the credit card? I maxed it out because my credit card limit was like $150. That was the limit because we were broke, and I used it all to buy a P90X or a Les Mills Combat Challenge pack. So anyway, anyone else have anything they want to pop in there or say? All right. Before I unmute everyone, let's all, actually, I'll just unmute everyone. I'm going to take a really pretty happy picture of everyone. So look at your face. I really appreciate everyone showing up. I'm going to say cheese, okay? 3, 2, 1, cheese. Okay, it took it. I hope all your eyes are open. You only get one shot. All right, everyone's unmuted. Anyone? Anything else? All
Thank
right,
you.
Brittany, thank you so much for your time.
Yes,
I
absolutely. My
really
pleasure.
loved it. I'll return the favor for you anytime. But I can work with East Coast. Thank you guys for showing up, and I will post a recording in the team page for anyone who missed it, and I will send it to you if you want to share it with your team, Brittany.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Good night, all.
Thanks. Good night.
Thanks.